palace, and he tells one, he's like, yo, you're going back to the palace, you gonna die, which is what you said about the coronavirus people. And so then the other person goes back to the palace, forgets all about Joseph, but then, you know, whoever was in charge, I can't think of their personal title, they were in charge. They were like, hey, I had this dream, who can tell me what it means? He's like, oh yeah, there's a dude in prison, and then Joseph is on top
of the prison.
No. Joseph, the guy, he deciphers the king, pharaoh, can't remember the titles. Okay. He deciphers their dream, right. And then Joseph puts, the pharaoh, king, whatever.
Think about it. I like how everybody went out and celebrated the defeat of Donald Trump.
And I would say the win of Joe
Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yeah. I was like... before we go any further.
Yes.
Welcome to...
What episode is this?
I don't know.
12.
Episode 12
of
the Black Apple Pie podcast.
All right. Continue.
Oh, so I guess I was saying I like how everyone was celebrating yesterday.
Yeah.
And I saw some people with masks, but there was no social distancing.
Oh, no.
There's no physical distancing.
No.
It's like you guys have spent so much time claiming that you've been inside because you want to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
But then you go outside during the peak of cases.
It really is.
Case numbers.
It really is the peak of cases.
Deaths.
Not deaths yet, but it really is the peak of cases.
It's coming.
Probably in the next 2 weeks for sure.
Between Trump's rallies, between the protests, and between everybody going out and partying yesterday and for Halloween.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
It's probably going to be a rough time. A rough time in America.
Y'all gonna die.
I mean, if I would agree with you if Biden hadn't won and therefore coronavirus over.
So if Trump had won re-election,
yeah, coronavirus would still be here.
How does that work?
I told you. Hem of garment.
but the hem of like Joe Biden's shades or
no, shades don't have a hem.
Right. Mm-hmm. But like what?
No, it's a metaphor.
What piece of no? There has to be some kind of fabric.
No, it's not that kind.
That's how it worked with Jesus.
Yeah, that's Joe Biden is not Jesus. It's not that kind of metaphor.
Jesus Biden. It's
not a perfect 1-to-1 metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Joesus.
Listen in the Bible. Listen in the Bible. There's a character Joesus, and Joesus is basically like grabbed by his brothers because they're jealous of him.
Where did they grab him?
by the what do you call that thing? By the multicolored coat.
Oh, the Technicolor coat.
By the multicolored coat, or like multi-tailed coat, depending on how you read that word. And so all right, and they like are gonna kill him, but they decide to sell him into slavery, and then he almost gets he gets accused of a rape that he didn't do, and then he's thrown into jail, and then he sits there for a long time, and then he becomes like top jail person, and then yeah, for sure, and then he can like. What do you call that thing? He can, it's like when you decipher something. He can decipher dreams. And so some people jump in there and they're like, hey, I had these dreams. And those people work for the palace. And he tells one, he's like, yo, you're going back to the palace, you gonna die, which is what you said about the coronavirus people. And so then the other person goes back to the palace, forgets all about Joseph, but then, whoever was in charge, I can't think of their personal title, they were in charge. They were like, hey, I had this dream, who can tell me what it means? He's like, oh yeah, there's a dude in prison, and then Joseph is on top
of the prison.
No. Joseph, the guy, he deciphers the king, pharaoh, can't remember the titles. Okay. He deciphers their dream, right. And then Joseph puts, the Pharaoh, king, whatever, puts Joseph like as second in command of the whole like nation. Right. That's exactly how Joe Biden won.
So Joe Biden is Joseph.
Yeah, from the Bible.
Well, there are a lot of things line up. He has been accused of rape.
Yep, exactly. See, and where he didn't go to jail, what he did do was put a lot of super predators, which, were just regular black people who really didn't do anything that bad. But he put them in jail for something they didn't deserve. And so that's where that it's a little off, but that's where that line is.
See, Joseph, he's a top jail guy, top cop, right?
Oh,
yeah.
I see what you did there. I was actually going the other way where like he like got sent to jail for a rape he didn't commit. But in his story, he like sends people to jail for stuff for a long time for stuff that really didn't deserve that much. And so like, and it was basically like black people. And so it doesn't quite fit, but yeah, like this is the story of Joseph. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Sorry. Just needed to throw that in there.
Joseph R. Biden.
Robinette.
Yeah, I heard that last night. And I was like, is that what we were naming our kids in 1927?
So actually, let me tell you a different story of Joseph. So he was an orphan after his parents were killed. You would know them because they were part of a circus. And so they were killed. And then this show, yeah, exactly. Oh, and so that's where you get Robin is from his middle name Robinette, and so that's actually the story of Joseph R. Biden.
Okay, where does Biden come from?
My creativity is is exhausted at this point. Yeah, I don't have any more stories.
Sounds like malarkey to me.
I fell for it.
Yeah, so welcome everybody.
Yeah, to Black Apple Pie.
Yeah.
By the way, what's this stuff called? Coronavirus and COVID-19 has not disappeared. Let me just go ahead and correct that for the record.
So stop partying outside.
There were a lot of people out there just like it didn't exist. Okay, but two things, because I think about this a little bit, and it's like, yes, COVID-19, coronavirus, like terrible things, but also like, what experience is important enough that you're like, I'll risk it? Because I can think of two that some people risked yesterday.
Presidential election.
Yeah. So one, they were like, oh my gosh, Trump is gone. Biden has won. Let's go out and party. And to an extent, I understand. Like, especially like if you're a brown person in this country, or you like, there are a lot of things where your life and your well-being is truly on the line based on this election. And I could get how you might feel like I just need to be with people and I need to experience this celebration. That feels super important to me. Continue. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you fall into that category, you also know that you're
at risk for, that's probably very likely.
Catching the disease and the virus and not coming back from it.
Yeah, that's probably very likely. Second thing, last night.
Celebrate in your bubble, black people. Don't want to lose any more people.
Understandable. Second thing, last night, Notre Dame upset Clemson, and the students stormed the field, and it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it was a party. It was like they stormed the field, they're jumping up and down, they're like celebrating with each other. I saw one kid take his mask off to yell and then put his mask back up. Like, kid, do you not understand what that mask is for? But anywho,
what does that look like?
Huh?
What did that look like?
He was like, yeah! Like, what, sir? What? Go Irish!
My guy, you could yell through you probably spent a lot of time yelling through your mask.
Absolutely.
At the drive-thru? I said I want a cheeseburger with no cheese.
So you want a burger?
No, I said a cheeseburger with no... I said a cheeseburger with no cheese.
Sir, please put your mask back on. Sir, please put your mask back on and ask for a burger.
It is on.
You want a burger.
It is on. Look at me.
Oh my gosh. You're not wrong. That is how.
Look, I got it on.
You're not wrong. People really do that. Or just like, well, my mask is on. Like, if you're going to do that, you might as well.
It needs to be over your nose, but I can't breathe. Like, what? You're talking right now. I'm sure you can breathe.
You can breathe. You can breathe. Yeah. So the thing is, like, is that enough? Is it like, I really need to party with these people? Like, I don't want to miss this chance to storm a field. I've never stormed a field before. Is that enough to where you would brave COVID?
For some people, yes.
Yeah.
For whom the bell tolls, I don't know. Excuse me. There's nothing that's going to make me want to run outside and be
false.
That is false. I just caught myself.
Yeah.
I was out there during the Black Lives Matter protest.
I was just about to say.
I wasn't standing next to nobody.
I wasn't either. No.
Nah. The people we saw celebrating yesterday.
Oh, very close.
Hugging.
Yeah.
Sharing coronavirus with each other.
Oh, for sure.
Also, during the BLM protest, there was no correlation of a spike in COVID rate.
And right now, there's a very large one. Yeah. And right now, there's a very large spike. And I mean, but I gotta say, I'm not sure that would have deterred me. Yeah. I think I would have probably still gone out and walked a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I walked away from people and kept my mask on the whole time and things like that. But I do think I probably would have gone out there. But I don't know. I think a lot has changed since then. Yeah. Coronavirus felt very new then. Mm-hmm. It felt very not necessarily in Austin. I don't really know the numbers right now, but also the numbers in Austin particularly aren't crazy, but the numbers in other places are crazy. And and I imagine Austin's gonna raise, those numbers are gonna raise pretty soon anyway.
They are higher. I don't know where Travis County sits, but Texas has got the highest number of cases in the nation right now.
That is not surprising.
It's not. And we were one of the states that where everyone was like, oh, look, Greg Abbott's doing a great job. He'd roll himself out there and be like, yeah, I did. That's all me. I know people are going to die, but hey, look, baby, I gotta make sure that my seat in the White House is unoccupied.
I cannot think of anyone that I would vote for less than Greg Abbott for the White House.
Greg Abbott or Ted Cruz?
Oh.
If it came between the two of them, and you had no option, you had to vote.
You had to vote.
Hey, your vote matters, really,
bro.
This time,
bro. I never thought I would say this, but Kanye. like from the bottom of my heart, Greg Abbott or Ted Cruz. I would vote for Kanye. I would vote for Kanye.
For president.
Greg Abbott or Ted Cruz?
No, I'm just trying to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
So this is for the White House. This is for the presidential.
And my choices are only Greg Abbott and whoever this other man is. Ted Cruz. Couldn't say his name. It wouldn't come out. Gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I have to vote. I would literally vote both of them so my vote would be canceled out. And it's not I don't know. I would find a way to protest vote. I couldn't do it.
Why don't you just write in Beto?
But you said I only had two choices. I mean, I made a third one anyway. But
yeah, that's why I said it.
Yeah.
So I would vote for Kanye.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Shout out to everybody who did vote for Kanye, though.
Why?
Because it shows that a lot of the folks who were going to vote possibly for Trump voted for Kanye instead. Because they're Trump kind of represents something I don't want as a president, but I kind of want to stick it to the libs, and I'm kind of cool with his policies, but he's not a good fit for the president. So I'm going to vote for Kanye.
Okay, I guess.
There wasn't anybody who was going to vote for Biden that voted for Kanye.
Let's hope not. Yeah, I think it's I think if you're going to waste your voice.
Are you saying that by Trump colluding with Kanye actually destroyed his chances at a second term?
I would say destroyed, but
because you're saying that nobody that voted for Kanye would have voted for Biden, but is the opposite true, or is the same true for Trump?
So this basically boils down to like what happened in 2016 when it's like, oh, the people who would have voted for Hillary voted for Jill Stein instead.
Yeah.
And that's what cost her the election.
Yeah.
Which is not true.
Right. Yeah. This is it's in the same kind of realm. Now, granted, I don't think there were enough votes for him anywhere, but there was at least one state that had shown that I think the Libertarian candidate had gotten the difference was like 500,000 or something like that that were taken from Trump and gave Biden whatever state that was.
I don't have those numbers yet.
There's a lot of numbers.
I'd be thinking your numbers are shady sometimes. So I don't know what it would be.
Have you seen my crowd size? I have the biggest crowd size that anyone's ever had.
I mean, I think technically we have the same crowd size and only one person tuned into our live this morning. So
my crowd size is a little bigger.
Okay, sure. Whatever.
Speaking of big numbers.
Okay.
One thing that we can congratulate Trump on is him getting the highest number of votes that an incumbent president has ever had.
Yeah, because more people voted in this election than had ever voted before.
It's true. Well, he made a tweet saying that exact same thing. It was 71 million something votes went to him. And I was like, I get down on Twitter. So I was like, yeah, your bitch ass still lost.
Yeah, I mean, essentially,
not like first, your last.
He was
Donnie.
I mean, essentially, he was omitting that, like, within, like, getting those votes was still less than his challenger.
Yeah, by
millions.
Yeah,
by millions.
All those damn legal votes. Like, what? How do you spin that? Because at first it was like, 3 million illegals voted, and that's why Hillary got the popular vote.
I think we all found out with him that you can't spin it.
I don't think I found that out. I think we all knew. I think we all knew.
Watching the process and lawsuit after lawsuit in every state, and then just stop.
Yeah, having
we're gonna keep counting and just can't spin it. You can't turn this into anything.
Having the crowds say, chanting stop the count in one state, and in another state those keep counting. Like, that's not how it works.
No, you can't
every life matters, all lives matter, all votes matter. There you go.
You can't cherry pick so you can win.
No,
that's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
He don't own any slaves, I don't think, anymore.
No. I will say, watching this election, watching the process, watching the counts come in, all that was, I don't know, it was a very anxious process for me. Mm-hmm. And I think that, to the point that I had so much anxiety the first couple days that when he was actually projected to be the winner, I didn't feel anything. I was
Biden?
I was like, all right. I didn't care anymore.
This, it's not over, but
I think for me it was over. Yeah, it was over. It was over much earlier. I think the only thing that I was excited about, and it is because it was indicative of how much hard work was put into the process. Mm. I was incredibly excited about Georgia. Mm-hmm. Because Georgia took a problem that was disenfranchised voters, all this kind of stuff. And then obviously headed by Stacy Abrams, but also hook 'em horns, headed by Stacy Abrams, but also obviously a number of people, a whole organization, a team, and 80,000 more votes, it's just some ridiculous number. That's just indicative. If there was hard, on the ground work to say, hey, how can we get you involved in this process? And people came out and got involved in this process to the point, like to the extent that we're going to be watching Georgia into January. And that's wild.
Yeah. Stacy Abrams and her squad deserve a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
Damn near all the credit.
When you say January, are you referring to the runoff elections for Senate?
So right now, Republicans have the majority in the Senate. But if both of the runoff elections in Georgia go to Democrats, that shifts the entire balance of power in the Senate. Mm-hmm. And so I am very proud of Georgia. I'm very proud of Georgian Democrats. I'm very proud of just people who think like you should exercise your voice and vote, I guess, and want you to be able to do that in the most clear way possible. Like, I'm very proud of people who believe that.
Yeah. And
I'm very proud of, you know, Stacy Abrams and that organization. I, though, am so glad I don't live in Georgia. Because I am so tired of political ads, and they're basically done here in Texas. And in Georgia, they're going to be, because now, like, that's where all the money's going to go.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's going to be ads all over the place, and I am very glad that I don't have to experience that. What?
We did it.
Who?
We did it again.
Who's we? What
Black
we
people.
Oh.
We showed up and came through and saved white America's ass once again.
You know what's funny about that? Is like, you know how like black people are always late?
Yeah.
And this is not like a our fault kind of thing, but the fact that they counted like black votes late, like votes out of like urban areas, like late, and it's just like we always be showing up to the party like at the end, but then it's really a party.
I mean,
like,
yeah, when we come through, we make it lit.
Hey, when we come through, we come through. Like, the thing is, and sure, like I don't think I can have my cake and eat it too, right? So like, when Trump won and people tried to blame like black voters for not coming out to vote, I was like, no, I don't get to blame black people for that. Blame white people who voted for Trump. It's not like black people didn't vote for Hillary that is the problem. No, it is white people who voted for Trump. Or let me just say, it is the people who voted for Trump. It was white people who voted for Trump. Like, that was the issue, right? Yeah. And so then, like, now I don't think I can have my cake and eat it too. So I can't say like, oh, you know, black people came and saved Joe Biden if I didn't say that like black people were responsible for not saving Hillary Clinton. So what I will say is, yeah, it's really dope that a lot of black people voted a particular way, and it kind of looks cool that like we counted us last, and so it looks like these urban areas say it. But generally, it is a conglomerate of a lot of people who saw Trump and said, "I don't want that." Mm-hmm. And so that was good. That said, there are a lot of people who saw Trump and said, 4 more years.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
A lot of people. There was a ballot. I feel like it was in Nevada, but I could be wrong. Somebody can fact check me. That's fine. But it was like, should we take out of their state constitution, should we take out an exception that allows for unpaid labor in prison population, like as a punishment, essentially, which is essentially slavery. Like, it's this exception that says like we can like have slaves as long as they're prisoners.
Yeah, that's in the Constitution.
Yeah. But it's also in the state constitution, and they had an option to like take it out.
Yeah.
Like to say like, hey, we're not going to do that in the state. And I think it was actually, I don't know. It may have actually been symbolic, and they may not do that now, but they wanted to take it out of their constitution.
Yeah.
The point is, like 280,000 people were like, no. Yeah. Slavery? No, we keep it that.
That's the only thing keeping them from doing Civil War II.
What do you mean?
Slavery, man.
I don't understand.
No, because the first time the country went to war against itself, it was due to slavery.
Yes.
The second time, which a lot of people predict is sometime between now and January 21st.
Why? Slavery? Again?
Yeah, the Civil War, man.
No.
Civil War Part 2.
I don't understand. Okay, wait, why? I'm confused.
Civil War Part 2. So like the Trumpers, what do we call them? The maggots, the
maggots,
white ISIS, vanilla ISIS,
vanilla ISIS.
little Trumpers, little Trump Juniors,
Little pimps.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
little pimps. Little Pimp.
Yeah, wait, no, don't go into that yet. Finish what you're trying to say.
Well, they've been getting ready. They've been gearing up for another Civil War.
But it wouldn't be over slavery.
Essentially.
How, I don't understand.
They want their Robert E. Lee, their Jefferson Davis to stay in power so that he can continue to destroy the country and make things worse for people who don't look like, folks who mainly carry Trump flags.
Interesting. Okay, now I'm starting to put that together. You know what's weird?
Other than Trump calling Lil Pump Lil Pimp.
And did he even correct him?
Somebody did. Did you see him?
I just saw him say Lil Pimp. I didn't really see anything after that.
Trump was like,
Mostly
all right, everybody. We have a wonderful guest in the crowd. His name, there he is, right there. I see you. This is a phenomenal rapper, one of the great entertainers of the world. His name is Lil Pimp. And he's come up here to share. His name is Lil Pump. And he come on up here, little pumper. Let's go ahead and pump it up out here.
Okay. You have to know. You have to know that you are a pawn when he doesn't get your name right. You gotta, I mean, he had to know he was a pawn before now. And I'm guessing like they're gonna pay him for this appearance and like, hey, if you're paying me enough, like, and I'm broke, like being a pawn ain't the worst thing in the world. Not being able to eat is the worst thing in the world. But like, look, you have to know you're a pawn.
Look, so here's the folly of Lil Pump and all the other people who were Team Trump.
Yeah.
That was fine in the 4 years that he was president. Motherfucker's not in office anymore.
No.
Your record sales, they're going to remember you going up and saying what you said.
Yeah.
Like, it's whatever career that you had. I'm sorry, man. The Trump supporters ain't going to be buying your stuff.
That's very true.
They still don't know any good Kanye songs.
That is true, but I don't think that it is true that Trump supporters aren't going to buy their stuff. I don't think it's true that Biden supporters won't.
No, I didn't say anything about Biden. Biden people don't listen to Lil Pump anyway.
I think the black people who voted for Biden do. There are some black people who voted for Biden who definitely are Lil Pump fans.
Nobody listens to Lil Pump.
I could not tell you one Lil Pump song, but I also don't listen to rap that much.
Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
That's Lil Pump?
That's Lil Pump.
That's
Who knew?
What else does he have? I Love It with Kanye West.
Never heard of it.
You're such a... What did they change the words?
Is that old Kanye or new Kanye?
This was like last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, you know good and well listening to no Kanye in the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, it's not good Kanye at all. But I mean, he's popular, but it's more with like the younger, not black crowd. The crowd that has like black avatars on social media.
Ooh. Shots.
Sponsor us.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Talking about Lil Pump.
Oh yes, Lil Pump.
And people buying his music.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the people who bought Lil Pump are gonna buy Lil Pump after this.
Well,
people don't stick to their guns like that.
Well, people don't stick to artists like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they do.
It's gotta be a memory, a faint memory. Like, oh yeah, that one guy that was Lil Pimp. Yeah, that's his name, right?
I really do think he'll never live down being called Lil Pimp.
Hell no.
I think of all the things, I don't think he's gonna live that down.
No. Like even 50 was like, You know, he had said what he said on the thing about like, oh, taxes. This is what taxes gonna be like when Biden gets now Team Trump. And everybody's like, well, 50 Cent endorsed Donald Trump, and then 50 was like, I mean, I didn't. I just don't want to pay taxes. And his ex was like, I will do some things to you to get you to vote for Joe Biden. He was like, all right, I'm right with Biden now. So he was able to make the flip. And then kind of like troll and all that kind of stuff. So he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he was going to be fine even with these higher taxes.
Well, I mean, at the same time, nobody really listens to 50's music anymore. So
that's fine.
But he's also the type of person that doesn't care.
Yeah, no. He also has some investments here and there.
That Lil Pump doesn't have.
I feel like you could work the name Lil Pump into some endorsements.
What kind of endorsements?
You know, pool cleaner, like pool cleaners.
Like a little.
What do you call them things? Jacks.
Jacks?
Yeah, we jack your car up.
Oh, hey, I got a flat. Hey, you got a little pump?
You got a little pump. You got Lil Pump's little pump.
It's like every time he put with every down thrust. Gucci gang.
Gucci gang.
Gucci gang. Gucci gang. If he was smart, he would get on that. I don't think he is, though.
I mean, I don't think they would want him.
I mean, no, you got enough money to invest in something and then
you can make your own. You can make your own little pumps.
You can make your own little pumps.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. What else happened this week? It's always just been the...
It's been an election. There's nothing. Yeah.
The Nevada's still counting?
Probably.
It's Sunday.
Look. Wait, what you trying to say? They take off on the Sabbath? Like what?
All I'm saying is, my guy.
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Look, Philadelphia itself probably has more people than
just like that's all y'all. That's all
the whole state of Nevada.
Only job is to count.
Yeah.
And to make sure people don't count cards.
You know what happened, right? It was like they were counting and they were like, what number was that? We gotta start over.
Like, all right, we're at 80%. Okay, that was one. Did anybody write down the number that we were just
right?
Well, no, I thought you had it.
Oh. You know what happened? Somebody was like walking with some ballots, and they tripped and dropped them, and they was all over the floor. Now everybody in that place is just picking up ballots. Like, wait, was that from the left or the right? Because we counted the ones on the right. Oh.
Damn it, Johnson. So Nevada's still counting. Wait. Speaking of things that are still going on, is California still on fire?
Probably.
In Colorado?
Probably. Yeah. That's where all Trump's ballots went.
I saw them take a bunch of Republican ballots and drive them out into the forest where they don't wreck. They don't make sure that the forest floors are clean. And they just tossed all of our lovely, beautiful, wonderful ballots.
Yeah, that's where they put
into
them.
the fire.
Mm-hmm. That's where they put them. They just told Trump supporters, they were like, this is where your ballot box is. Just throw them.
There were a lot of conspiracies going on, man.
Oh my gosh.
I saw a video of somebody saying that, they told us that we could use Sharpies on them and the machines won't take them. They gave them to all the Trump supporters. And I'm watching it. First thing, my question was like, how do they know that you're voting for Trump?
Yeah.
To give you specifically, they're like, they gave all the Democrats.
Well, I walked in with my MAGA hat and they handed me a Sharpie. Like,
okay.
Plus,
you can't do that though.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I don't think every story is a conspiracy theory. I think there was probably some suppression out there. But when you try to make it seem like the suppression is only about you and your party, and you try to make it seem like everything is like out to get you, Like, he's literally the president who cried wolf, right? Yeah. So now, like, when there is, like, possibly a legitimate thing, it's like, I don't believe you. Like, you've been saying so much stuff. It's like, I don't believe you.
You mean the president who cried Obama? It was Obama.
Yeah.
He's been spying on my ballots.
Yeah, for sure. Because I will say, like, I know of some people, and they happen to be Democrat, but I don't think that this is necessarily, like, I don't think there's only bad people on one side.
Yeah.
I don't think there's only people trying to suppress people on one side, but these happen to be Democrats. But there's an older woman, and she was told she already voted. And it's like, and she knew, and they were able to like, it happened to be that, like, somebody who supports, or somebody who was, like, trying to call and, like, help people make a plan to vote. Like, when they heard, when she said she had already voted, they were like, that's not true. Like, I can read, because you can see when people have voted.
Yeah.
So they have a database that they were looking up, and she's like, well, we don't have that you voted. So unless you voted in the last, like, couple days where this isn't updated yet, like, we know that you haven't. And she was like, well, they told me I voted, and they gave me a ballot and things like that. And they were like, okay, well, why don't we do this? It's like, and she had said she had done this a week ago. And they're like, well, why don't we do this? Why don't I give you a call tomorrow and, like, see if it updates? And if not, like, we'll make a plan to make sure that your vote is counted. And so they were able to do that. And, like, I think that's great. And I think it's great that people are doing that and whatnot. And that happened to be somebody who, like, was planning on voting for Biden. But I don't think that that's, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Isolated to just like, you know, and so it's kind of like, I don't think that every story out there is a conspiracy theory or whatever, but when you try to, like, make these outlandish conspiracies, all it does is it makes, like, sincere ones look ridiculous or like they're lying or things like that. And so that's where...
That's been his whole presidency.
It's true. Yeah, there's just lies that don't make any sense. Lies that you don't need to tell. Lies that are, like, immediately unverifiable. Like the crowd size.
I had the largest one in history.
Like,
it's so big.
We can see.
It was much bigger than Obama's BBC. Big black crowd.
Big black crowd size in the U.S. history. Period. It's like, God damn it.
You saying period on the end of something doesn't make that true. Yeah. Like I can see. Like, it's one thing if it's like, it looked like it was close, you know, and it's like, oh, you know, maybe there were a little more kids. Like, maybe there were, like, you know, whatever.
More kids.
Maybe people were standing close together. But, like, I can see, like you're not going, like, you... Anyway, I don't know. It just felt like it, like, you insulted my intelligence. And he does that a lot, where it's like, he's like, says these lies, like, he's done more for black people than
anybody outside of Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly. Like any president outside of Abraham Lincoln. Exactly. And it's like, I live here. Like I have watched you. Like, don't insult my intelligence. Like, don't. Like, I've been alive for long enough to experience other presidents.
But
like,
have you been woke?
Has he?
Platinum.
You mean the platinum deal?
Bling bling.
That regardless of whether he won or lost was never going to happen?
So now that he's lost, is he going to give us money?
No. Like,
was it the 1,200 stimulus? If you vote for me, I'll give you money.
He could have done that before. Right. And in fact, I think had he done it before, probably would have got more votes.
Yeah. We couldn't pass it.
Well, he didn't even want to.
Yeah. And then he was very vocally against it. And then someone was like, "Hey, I don't think that's a great thing to say when we're like a month away from your reelection." Oh well, we have it in the cards. We're trying to get it out now, but the Democrats, the radical left, don't want you to get money. It's like, wait, and it was the socialists don't want people to have money.
It was like 3 months before, like. Because he was trying to say, like 3 months ago, he was trying to say, like, yeah, I'm for this stimulus and I'm for like whatever. And that's the thing. They had time to do it. They absolutely had time to do it well in front of, and it was written. Like, Democrats had sent them a bill. Like, it was written.
Like Nas. I knew he would get that one.
Good album.
Yes, it's a good album.
Oh, was the album called Is Written?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
By Nas.
I have a roommate that would really be upset that I didn't get that reference, but it's fine. He doesn't listen to the show.
Oh, you have a roommate now?
No. He's an old roommate.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Lottie. I'm sorry, Dr. Lottie.
So we throwing up gang signs on the thing now?
And Dr. Lottie.
On the pod? Is that what y'all do when y'all see each other?
No. Mostly because I'm not a doctor, but
oh, so you don't know the handshake yet?
I don't, but hopefully it's coming in the next couple of years.
Y'all gotta
Not that kind of doctor though. Don't ask me medical questions and don't show me rashes.
Are you like Dr. Dre?
Jay. Yeah. There we go. Like you see, we got the background here. What were you doing?
It was y'all's. I don't know.
Smoke weed every day.
You had one job. I also couldn't remember what came after that part of the song, so.
It's the one and only D.O.G.
Snoop Dogg.
Wait, have we done that one already?
I think we have. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so I couldn't remember if it was that or the next episode.
How about post-election feelings and any narratives y'all are seeing that are just kind of like,
I personally am really feeling the whole "fuck your feelings" movement.
Give me some context.
So there are some folks on the left who are like, we need to outreach to our friends and family, brothers and sisters, yada yada. On the right, Trump supporters, we need to bring them back in. And other folks who are like, absolutely not. For 4 years, 4 years, these people have been going around gallivanting and putting this stuff in our faces about this president who really ain't worth it. His policies ain't worth it. So you know what? Today we gonna gloat.
I think when it's time to celebrate, you celebrate. However, I do think there's going to need to be some compromise, especially if the Senate is held by the Republicans.
So my issue with that is that there won't be a lot of compromise if
Trump won, there'd be no compromise because there hasn't been any.
No, I'm talking about with Biden as president.
Oh,
we had Mitch McConnell back when Obese was elected. He said we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that this is a one-term president.
He absolutely said
all those bills that went to his desk stayed there. He has a nickname about bills going to his desk to die. They call him the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
With Biden being in the presidential seat, and if the Republicans still have the Senate and Mitch McConnell is still at the top, there won't be any compromise.
It'll really be, I mean, that said, the hope is that like these relationships that Biden has had with people being in this Senate for so long, like maybe they supersede the leadership of McConnell.
All I'm saying is 4 years. In that time, we've seen so many people, in these positions of power, choose to put their seats over their constituents.
For sure.
Over the American people. It's been party over country for the last 4 years. At least you could say, before that, but you really saw it with Trump's election and his presidency.
And I think that's, I agree with you. That said, like, I don't know that like the answer here is be bitter back.
Is that a play on
Build Back Better? Yeah.
And then at the same time,
thank you for getting that, by the way. I didn't think anyone, I appreciate that.
Hey, man, we hear sometimes. And then at the same time, yesterday when they had different surrogates on, they were talking down on the radical left and the socialists. It's like, Van Jones is one of them. They said Joe Biden's first thing that he did was defeat the socialists, and now that we're here, we can work together with the wait, what? Are we supposed to, if we're going to go that route, include everybody? So we're talking about compromise. Stop punching left and trying to intermingle with, like, John Kasich being at the Democratic convention. Like, I had my issues with that.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, yeah, Joe Biden's doing what he can to unite the country. Lost Ohio.
That is true. That said, I didn't think that John Kasich was a bad move. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I do think that you will run affront some issues if you start to alienate a lot of the people who have gotten young people excited, right? So if you push away AOC and Ilhan Omar and Presley and like these, say again?
Talib.
Yeah, thank you, because I sure was about to forget her name.
Rashida?
Yeah, if you push away those people who have gotten a lot of people excited in a lot of different places, you're going to lose. So you, like, as much as you're reaching out to, the right, you need to reach out to, I'm right. You need to reach out to the progressive left. You need to reach out to these people who are like done with ISIS. Sorry, not done with everyone's done with ISIS. Done with ICE. And done with, what's the word I'm looking for? Inequity in healthcare. Done with inequity in income. And you need to figure out like what you're going to do about that, because you don't win without young people. You don't win without people who think like that's the direction you're moving.
Yeah. So I think that as long as Biden is president, he's going to try to be like the centrist. So I think he'll be similar to Obama when he was president, but less engaged with younger folks and folks who are, because there is a rising movement of folks who are more left than your liberal, your standard liberals.
I think he will be as compromising as he needs to be, especially while Republicans have the Senate. But I think that if the Democrats take the Senate, there are definitely some things that he's going to do that are going to feel very alienating to the right. One of which being shoring up Obamacare. And I think like he feels very personal about that because he was part of getting Obamacare passed. It's a big effing deal, remember? I think another one of those things has left me, but it was in my head a second ago. So we're just going to pretend like I said something really intelligent. And then
it's your oops moment.
Yeah, apparently. I think immigration. That's what it's going to be. So I think like those two really large things. Yeah. I think if he gets House and Senate, I think that's where he moves. And taxes. I think he does away with the Trump tax changes for sure.
Yeah.
And those things are going to alienate people on the right.
Are they really though? Because
to an extent.
Because there's the vast amount of people overwhelmingly are in favor of healthcare.
Yes.
They just don't like that it's related to Obama.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. But I think to an extent, right? But I think that extent is going to be very interesting. And it'll be like interesting to see like, let me just wrap the context in here. So let's say Biden and House and Senate pass a new tax bill. And it does exactly what Biden said it was going to do. It raises taxes on people who make more than $400,000 a year, and it doesn't raise taxes on people who make less than that. I wonder if that will ease the fears of all these people who just like didn't believe that like their taxes wouldn't go up, even though they weren't making anywhere near $400,000. And so I'm wondering like if they pass this and then their taxes like don't go up, but they start to like get these different things because we now have money to pay for it.
Yeah.
If people are like, no, that's good. Or if they're just so entrenched in being a Republican, so entrenched in like what Republicans say is the right thing to do that they just won't. But they're still going to like vote Republican.
See, you triggered him. You don't want your taxes to go up, do you, buddy?
Yeah.
He doesn't want taxes to go up for people who have money.
I'm sure. No, I think he doesn't want his taxes to go up for himself. And he's very ambitious and thinks that he'll be making $400,000. Sorry. Yeah, $400,000 in the future.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
No. Hell no.
Well, I will say he's got as much of a chance of making $400,000 than some other people who think that, like, they're going to make that much and then they don't want their taxes to go up.
No, my little entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just waiting on you to really commit to his Instagram page.
I've had people ask me, like, hey, well, have you thought about doing that with your cats? Like, kind of, but no. I'm not going to exploit them for money.
I mean, they won't care. She was like, do it. We need the money.
He is a boy.
Oh, yeah. I called him he earlier in the conversation, too. He's like, do it. We need the money.
If you can pronounce Kamala correctly, you can get the gender right of my cats. I was going to say children.
I mean, what if your cat has other ideas?
Is that true? Well, I accept you, Binks. You and all your gender fluidity.
If only parents in the United States could have such tender moments like this.
Man, we should run for office.
No, bro.
Yeah, we could do it.
No. Maybe. No, we couldn't do it. What would we run for? And why is it we? Like we're together. Like,
yeah.
Like two people would just run the office? One office?
Yeah.
What office would we run?
President and vice president.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Which one of us would be president?
You can be the president.
Why?
Because you're more professional. And then
Okay.
I can be the VP.
Okay.
To, be that one be like, I'm about to roast you right here on the Senate floor.
I don't think any VP in the history of VPs has ever said, whoa, I'm about to roast you on the Senate floor.
I said, boy.
Oh, either way.
Hey,
that wasn't the part that was...
Joe Biden made those faces back when he was Obama's right hand man.
Okay.
See him behind him, he'd be like, my guy.
Okay.
Man, I got you. Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works. And plus, we can't start with presidency. Like, what is going to be our first office?
Why not?
City comptroller.
Because nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows nobody knows who. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's at least 5 of our people who tune into the show that would vote for us.
Not if they know what's good for them.
Well, lucky for them, or you, I guess.
It's better than a vote for Kanye, but it's not much.
What ticket we run under? We Democrats, Republicans, Independent.
I would love to be an independent, but we don't have that kind of money, so we would have to be Democrats.
No, we'll start raking it up when the show gets big. When we get to like Joe Rogan levels, yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. Anything else we need to talk about before we?
I'll just say that it's not over until it's over. Trump might have to be dragged out the White House.
Can I do it?
Look, I wouldn't be upset if the people Mussolini'd his ass.
History lesson, please.
So, Mussolini was in the fight of his life, man. He was facing a very, very sharp resistance from the people, and had lost his little whatever. And people were like, "Yo, we're getting you out of here, one way or another." So they went and stormed his compound and dragged him out and beat him in the street.
That seems a little violent. Maybe.
And then they dragged him.
I just don't feel like that's what we should connect to American politics. Dragging a leader out and beating him in the street.
I didn't say
but
like
also,
that. Like you can just
if you refuse to leave,
he wasn't Axis power, so at the time.
Yeah. But also, if you refuse to leave, like maybe that should be how we do it. And so, like any president who is president, like knows, like, hey, your concession speech better be convincing because we know what to do.
Hit him with the slapjack.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Before we get out of here, what do y'all think is going to go... What do you think that his library is going to look like?
Bro, it's going to be so full. Like, there's so many scandals. There's so many, like...
his tweets is going to be going up in that mug.
For sure. But there's just so many scandals. There's so much, like... I bet there's a lot of mail of people who are just, like, sick of it. Like, I feel like I should write Donald Trump a letter just so it'll go in, like... First, it goes in the Library of Congress, any letter that you write to the president. And I would go in his, like... Probably in his library somewhere where you could search it. I just want my, I don't even know what you would call it. I want my,
legacy?
Nah, it's like opinion, but it's like a more professional word for it. I want my, whatever. I want my opinion just documented that I was like, I thought he was a complete whatever. I don't know. I'll get my words together and write it. And send it to the Library of Congress.
Are you going to make it vulgar?
Nah.
Why not?
Because.
It's going to be a strongly worded letter.
I mean, it'll be worded.
Dear President Poopy Pants.
I don't think I would do that. I think that you can. I think that you can disagree. That you can write a letter in a way that tells the truth about the inadequacies of a person. Mm-hmm. I'll even say the inadequacies of a person, the inadequacies of like a person's policy and inadequacies of a person's performance in their job that isn't personal, that isn't vulgar, that isn't unprofessional, and still reads them well and still indicates that they are bad at their job in a way that's not like, oh, you just don't like him. It's like, no, like whether I like you or not, you're bad at this. Like you bad job, President Trump, bad job.
You know how you write that letter? You tell him the numbers of people who voted for him, the popular vote versus Joe Biden. Then you do the same with the Electoral College. Nobody likes you. That's why you got fired.
Oh, so you don't like the Electoral College? Is that what you're trying to hint at there?
Well, no, I'm just saying that compared to 2016, he had the Electoral College. Hillary Clinton had the popular vote.
Yeah.
This go around, Trump don't have either.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody likes you.
Yeah.
You're bad at your job.
You're bad at your job.
You're the first one-term president since George Herbert Walker Bush.
Bad at your job.
And then before that was Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Exactly, Binks.
Who else is bad at their job?
A lot of people.
Yeah. You know what I'm really glad, though? That when Trump leaves, other people who are bad at their job are going with him. Betsy DeVos, bad at her job. Generally bad at her job.
Yeah.
Joy.
Luggage. What's his name? Dr. Ben Carson.
Okay, so Marlon, I just want to remind you that I'm a highly qualified physician.
Okay, but how does that help you be the head of HUD?
Because I've seen so many low-income people come see me, and I've just done a phenomenal job helping them. Thanks to our good Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who has blessed me with gifted hands.
Bad at his job. Bad. Just bad at his job. Very bad. I can't think of this guy's name, but the guy who's over the Consumer Protection Agency, who's also over some other agency, bad at his job.
You don't have to even name any names. Every single one of them is bad at their job. Environmental Protection Agency.
Bad at his job.
Rick Perry.
Bad. That's the energy. Bad at his job.
Yeah.
Bad at his job.
Whoever else you want to throw out there. It doesn't even have to be anybody that's in
Steve Bannon. Bad at his job.
I was going to say, it doesn't even have to be anybody that's in there.
Who?
The guy, he's the FCC.
Oh, yeah,
the
bad at his job.
dude with the big Reese's mug.
Bad at his job.
Yeah.
The big Reese's mug.
Yeah, he got, what's his name? John Oliver made fun of him.
Oh.
Because in one of his meetings, he said, I'm just a regular guy like y'all. And he had this huge, oversized Reese's peanut butter cup coffee mug.
Oh.
You know who's good at their job? The Secret Service.
Yeah. They have to be.
Yeah.
They foiled another plot recently.
Yeah. And like, it was funny because I think even before Pennsylvania was called,
Yeah.
the Secret Service started stepping up their protection of Biden.
Yeah.
Because they knew.
Did you see when they were on stage celebrating? When they do like the balloon drop and the confetti and all that. So Biden, Harris, and their families and people are on stage. And, you know, the pop went off.
From a balloon?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
And everybody was like, oh, and Joe Biden was like,
oh, from fireworks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ooh,
I mean, I do think there needs to be a level of like, what's the word when you're like afraid something's
awareness?
No.
Precaution.
Yes, but the word I used earlier. I'm bad at words today. I'm bad at my job. You hear? Whatever.
Racism.
At racism.
You're supposed to be bad at racism.
I think I might be good at that.
Good at racism?
That might be the only good thing that I'm good at. The only thing that I'm good at. It's not a good thing necessarily.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this noise went off and he was. You could see it in his face. He like, okay. He saw the confetti. He was like, oh. When Trump leaves office, the man's gonna have Secret Service protection for the rest of his life.
So I've heard about that. So first of all, it's only 10 years that they get Secret Service protection, but it is. It used to be for the rest of their life. It's not anymore. Why are you shaking your head?
Because it's not.
Somebody fact check this.
And they can't ever drive again. Something about I said that Trump was gonna have Secret Service protection.
Oh yeah. Question.
Yeah.
If he goes to jail, does he still get protection for 10 years?
If MAGA's in jail.
If what?
MAGA gang, man.
Oh, you're saying that's who would protect him?
MAGA gang, MAGA gang, MAGA gang, MAGA.
Yeah. If he goes to jail,
yeah.
What? How does that work?
If he goes to jail, then he's a former U.S. president's never gone to jail.
I know.
They've had charges brought against them, but I think that's probably as far as that'll go for him.
Well,
if it even gets to that point, did Joe Biden say anything about like, hey, when I'm in office, I'm definitely gonna bring some charges against this guy?
No, but I don't think it's gonna be federal charges. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna be state of New York.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, even still, he's got money.
Yeah.
They don't normally send people to jail who have money.
That's very true.
But now, what is that Swiss bank that they were... Deutsche Bank. Mm-hmm. They're waiting to collect.
Yeah.
They're tied to him.
I imagine so.
So, with the clout that he's gotten from being president for 4 years, all the access that he's gotten to whatever records that we're never going to be allowed to see, all of his connects that he's made with his dictator friends, and he's like, if I don't win, I guess I'll just leave the country. Y'all don't want me anymore, so I'm going to leave. Extradition is the only way you're going to be able to catch him if it comes down to that.
I don't know. I think some other countries like would be like, we get him first. Like,
yeah, but not the ones that matter. If he goes to kick it in North Korea, he's straight. If he goes to kick it in Russia, he's straight.
Okay, sure.
Philippines.
That would be a very interesting addition to American history. The first president to
be an expat.
Yeah. Exile himself.
Exile,
essentially. Yeah. Okay.
You're going to be living with Roman Polanski.
Which fits.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for stopping by.
For a slice of black apple pie.
He loves his family, he loves his crew, that's nothing new. A touch confused, in love with music, but just a dude. It's just as true, he'll fucking lose what he doesn't use. But he's addicted to those ones and twos. And I can't wait no more. Plus I can't fake that, I just don't feel that up.
Thanks.
seem like you are a choir.
I'm a choir?
Like you're directing a choir.
Oh, okay. Are y'all the choir?
No. You've heard us sing. We're not a choir.
I'm in the pews.
And with that, I think we will join the pews as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Love each other.
We dropping things like that at the end of shows now.
Unless, Trump supporters.
So you should, oh my goodness. Okay. Really, that's how you'd like to end this?
Look, change. I was gonna throw something else at the end of that, but I said enough. I don't want to upset you anymore with my vulgarities.
Look, or whatever. Little whatever.
Little pimp. Little pimple, come on up.
Man, I would have died. Also, if I was a Lil Pump, I would not have gone on stage. But actually, it depends on how much they were paying me.
I don't think they were paying him anything.
I'm sure they were.
I think his payment was clout.
No, I think they were paying him.
You think they would pay Little Pimp to?
Absolutely.
How much do you think that check would be?
A lot? Enough? Like if they paid these black pastors, they paid all these kind of people.
Yeah, but I mean, he said Little Pimp.
I'm sure they paid Lil Wayne.
That's one thing that I gotta say. If you see any of these artists who at some point in their career were super fly, and then they go team conservative or whatever, their dress code is automatically garbage. I'm not saying that I have a personal issue with their dress code. I'm just saying that when they used to be fly and set the trends, and then they're wearing this, Mr. Rogers ass sweater, posing with Trump, with Trump, the president. Lil Wayne, what he had on.
I'm trying to remember what he had on.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I was never like, oh man, I want to go look like Lil Wayne. Like I never went to the store like, oh yeah, Lil Wayne wore this. No.
Yeah, no, I'm not that person either. But you have a whole generation of rappers who bit his whole style.
Did they?
Yeah. Kanye was the same way. It was very trendsetter-ing.
Yeah, you were definitely a Kanye follower.
I didn't dress like that though.
Really?
What I wear?
Really?
Yeah.
So we won't find them blind glasses in your apartment right now?
Oh, not my apartment.
Where are they at?
I don't live in an apartment.
Oh, okay. We won't find these lying glasses in this duplex?
I think they're in my backpack. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. Because those were the shutter shades. Those are dope.
Teddy bear backpack.
Oh, I don't have one of those.
He was biting Kanye style, and now trying to throw shade at people who are biting Lil Wayne style.
No, that's not what I said at all. I said there is a whole generation of rappers who looked at his style and emulated it when he was fly. Now, I don't know what's going on. Same thing with Kanye. Like these dudes, they can't dress anymore. What happened to the trends?
I feel like I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Don't be conservative with your dress code, man. That's all I got.
All right. Apparently that seems very important to you. So
I kind of.
Yeah.
Are you gonna represent black people? You gotta at least dress to the nines, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. There are a lot of black people who represent black people who don't dress to the nines.
When it's something that you're kind of known for.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no. All right.